Now, most people that want to become successful want to learn how to wake up early. I've said it before in the past, it is one of the most important self improvement tools you can use. Because when you wake up in the morning, there's no need to procrastinate. You don't want to procrastinate. You've woken up early to do something and you're just raring to go. And you have a lot more energy than you would think you would have in the morning because obviously you've woken up early, you feel like things are going to be tough. But when you wake up, it's actually really not that bad. You're like raring to go. And it sets you up really well for the day. You have a good head start on the day. Like if you're waking up at 4, like for me, during my holidays, I wake up at 4, right? I do my gym session, and by 6:30 I'm ready to work, and by 11 I've done my 4 hours of deep work. So basically, my day is finished in terms of like that work that I have to do by 11 o'clock, because that's how important like a morning routine is. It just gives you such a big head start, and now you've got the rest of this day to do whatever you want with it, right? So without further ado, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a good sleep schedule, right? The morning starts the day before. It starts the night before. You want to make sure you get proper sleep, and this is something I'm not going to stop talking about, right? You need to get sleep. I've heard it from Dr. Andrew Huberman and multiple other people, which is sleep is just, it's very important. We hear it all the time, get your sleep, and then we start to think like, oh, I need to become successful. I can sacrifice some sleep. You can't sacrifice sleep because that's going to come back to bite you, okay? Other than the fact that it takes years off your life, it literally takes years off your life. If you sleep, however many years you sleep below like 7 or 8 hours a night, however many hours that is, it accumulates and it directly affects how much your life is shortened. Okay, so apart from that, just your ability to function is just drastically decreases, and you won't notice it in the moment. But like, if you get 8 hours of sleep, or you get proper amount of sleep, versus if you get 5 hours of sleep, you're just not able to work to the same level. And you might be like, oh, I've done it before and I've worked just fine. I'm talking about consistently over a long period of time. You will never be the same person. I can tell you that. So you need to get your sleep. If you don't understand why I keep pushing it, that is why I keep pushing it. It is the foundation, not only of just becoming successful, just functioning to your capacity as a human being. You need to get your sleep. Okay, then moving on from your sleep, you need to have a schedule, right? You want to have something in the morning where you wake up and you know exactly what you're going to do. You don't want to, if you have nothing to do in the morning, like you haven't like set up anything, it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do in the morning. You're not going to like feel the push to wake up in the morning. When that alarm rings, you're going to be like, what am I waking up for? I can just do this later. I don't have anything to do. You want to have a schedule, right? And moving on from like that, linking it, you want to start the day off with exercise. Again, another thing I've heard from Dr. Andrew Huberman, and that thing is that exercise in the morning doesn't even need to be anything hectic. If you're someone who loves to work out late in the day, you can just do a 10 minute, literally search up on YouTube. You can just search up a 10-minute cardio workout. I did this last year when I was doing my finals, right? I was just not feeling it. Like I was not being consistent with anything whatsoever. But one thing I was doing is that when I was studying to make sure I pass. In the mornings, I'd wake up. I wouldn't do my full workout. I was just really out of it. I was like, okay, I'll at least do my 10 minutes of cardio, right? Just to get the blood flowing. You need to do that. If you don't want to do that, you can do push-ups, right? Do like 50 push-ups, 100 push-ups, whatever it is. Or you can do like a 10-minute push-up workout. They're there on YouTube. They're all there. You want to just get in some sort of exercise in the morning, right? And then another way you're going to wake up early, what you need to remember is you need to be consistent. And again, there's another thing you hear all the time, but being consistent is, it's really difficult. And I'll tell you a story of mine that I had last year. I burnt out at the start of 2022 because I remember I had a 3-month holiday. It was December, January, February. December and January, I was grinding, right? And I wasn't just like grinding like mentally, I was grinding physically. I was hitting my gym session in the morning, heavy gym session, like weights. I was bulking. That's when I was bulking. That's where I gained like a lot of muscle. And then I was going for walks. I was going for like 20-minute walks as part of my study break. And then I was training football. You guys will call it soccer, whatever. I was training 1.5 hours and I was doing like sprints and drills and everything. It was really hectic. Like I was so tired that I was waking up in the morning, I'd do my gym session, and then I'd spend like 2 hours just sitting there watching, like, I think I was trying to learn Spanish, and I was also watching like some video courses on whatever it is that I was trying to learn at that time. I was falling asleep, like I was dropping, like I was really, really physically tired. I wasn't getting enough sleep. That's one of the things. And I did deserve, like that was a reason to burn out. Like my body was just, what I was doing was just ridiculous. And my body is not able to take that. But I remember I was listening to, I eventually gave out. I remember I gave out at the end of January and I never like truly recovered from that. But I remember I was listening to some podcast, Jose Zuniga, I think he was on Fresh and Fit or whatever podcast he was on. He was talking. Someone asked him like, "How do you keep going like so consistently for so long, and you're going so hard? Like, don't you get tired?" And he was like, "I do get tired, but I just keep going." And I remember I was like, "Oh man, I just wish that I just kept going." In Jan, I mean, there was a reason I had to burn out. I had to like look back and like races. I look back at it and I'm like, I was being so dumb. I really should have been getting way more sleep. But I just, when you fall off the wagon, it's very difficult to get back on. And that's one of the things with waking up early. You just want to keep it going, right? And this goes for more than just like waking up in the morning. It goes for if you're creating content or if you're studying, whatever it is, just your daily routine. Just keep it going. Just imagine it's like a machine and you're just churning it. You're just churning it. You keep it on going. You don't want it to stop because once it grinds to a halt, it's so difficult to get started. I imagine you're like pushing a big boulder up the mountain, right? If you're like getting some momentum, you're gonna keep going. It's easier to keep going than to stop. Because once you stop, that boulder is going to come back, rolling back on you, and it's not only going to crush you, but it's going to go all the way back down to the bottom of the mountain. And that's exactly what it's like if you drop. Right? You need to remain consistent. It's the most important thing when it comes to waking up early, because anyone can wake up early. I can set an alarm for 4 a.m. tomorrow and say, "Oh, you need to wake up. You're going to go do." I don't know, whatever it is, something that you love, something that, if I told you to wake up at flipping midnight for it, you would wake up at midnight for it. Anyone can wake up early once. But can you do it consistently over a long period of time? That's the question. You need to be consistent. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below to join the Self Improvement Brotherhood. And until next time, I'll see you boys.